Roosevelt var en amerikansk politiker samt den 32. præsident for USA. Han var præsident i mellemkrigstiden samt under 2. verdenskrig i perioden 1933 til 1945. Under den store krise i 1930'erne skabte Roosevelt genopretningsplanen New Deal for at yde hjælp til de arbejdsløse, genopbygge den amerikanske økonomi og reformere de økonomiske og finansielle systemer gennem en række statslige instanser. Selvom genopbygningen af økonomien ikke var tilendebragt inden 2. verdenskrig, er der adskillige af hans initiativer, såsom det føderale banksystem, Tennessee Valley Authority og det amerikanske finanstilsyn, som fortsat spiller en fremtrædende rolle i landets erhvervsliv. Blandt hans efterladenskaber kan også nævnes de Forenede Staters Social Security system og National Labor Relations Board. Vi vil nu analysere en tale af Franklin Roosevelt, der blev præsident for USA i 1933, altså inde i krisen.
I want to talk for a few minutes with the people of the United States about banking, with the comparatively few who understand the mechanics of banking, but more particularly with the overwhelming majority who use banks for the making of deposits and the drawing of checks. I want to tell you what has been done in the last few days, why it was done, and what the next steps are going to be. I recognize that the many proclamations from state capitals and from Washington, the legislation, the Treasury regulations, cut for the most part in banking and legal terms should be explained for the benefit of the average citizen. I owe this in particular because of the fortitude and good temper with which everybody has accepted the inconvenience and hardships of the banking holiday. I know that when you understand what we in Washington have been about, I shall continue to have your cooperation as fully as I have had your sympathy and help during the past week.
Det er blevet anerkendt, at verden har et finansielt problem. Denne her tale handler dog om, hvad gør vi nu? Hvad er deres næste skridt, og hvordan får vi befolkningens forståelse? Roosevelt prøver fra start at trække det ned på et plan, hvor alle kan være med. Der er blevet brugt både patos, ethos, logos igennem hele talen. Især første afsnit er præget af patos, da han takker befolkningen for al deres tålmodighed og forståelse. Det er et klart virkemiddel, at han vil identificere sig med befolkningen.
What then happened during the last few days of February and the first few days of March? Because of undermined confidence on the part of the public, there was a general rush by a large portion of our population to turn bank deposits into currency or gold. A rush so great that the soundest banks could not get enough currency to meet the demand. The reason for this was that on the spur of the moment it was, of course, impossible to sell perfectly sound assets of a bank and convert them into cash except at panic prices far below their real value.
Her er der tale om fakta. Det har ikke været muligt for bankerne at udbetale den efterspurgte pengemængde. Her viser hans valg af ord nærmest en medfølelse for bankerne.
It was then that I issued the proclamation providing for the nation-wide bank holiday, and this was the first step in the government's reconstruction of our financial and economic fabric. The second step was the legislation, promptly and patriotically passed by the Congress, confirming my proclamation and broadening my powers so that it became possible in view of the requirement of time to intend the holiday and lift the ban of the holiday gradually. This law also gave authority to develop a program of rehabilitation of our banking facilities. I want to tell our citizens in every part of the nation that the National Congress, Republicans and Democrats alike, showed by this action a devotion to public welfare and a realization of the emergency and the necessity for speed that it is difficult to match in our history.
Han fortæller befolkningen, hvad staten har gjort for at finde en løsning. Den såkaldte bank holiday. Han fortsætter med en masse fakta, men på et niveau, der taler til alle dele af befolkningen. Ved at sige Republicans og Democrats alike, viser han, at vi alle er i samme båd. Det er et fælles mål. Problem.
A question you will ask is this: why are all the banks not to be reopened at the same time? The answer is simple. Your government does not intend the history of the past few years shall be repeated. We do not want and will not have another epidemic of bank failures.
Her er der fokus på Ethos. Han fortæller, at han vil gøre alt for ikke, at hans land vil ende i samme situation. Han viser ansvarlighed og lederskab. Han vil være troværdig. Flere gange siger Roosevelt, I am confident og I will assure you, hvilket beviser, at han gør alt, hvad han kan for at virke ansvarsbevidst og troværdig.
It is possible that when the banks resume, a very few people who have not recovered from their fear may again begin withdrawals. Let me make it clear that the banks will take care of all needs, and it is my belief that hoarding during the past week has become an exceedingly unfashionable pastime. It needs no prophet to tell you that when the people find that they can't get their money, that they can't get it when they want it, for all legitimate purposes, the phantom of fear will soon be laid. People will again be glad to have their money where it will be safely taken care of, and where they can use it conveniently at any time. I can assure you that it is safer to keep your money in a reopened bank than under the mattress.
Her fortæller han befolkningen, at de ikke skal frygte, de skal stole på bankerne. Han advarer imod frygt, fordi frygt kan ødelægge det, at sejr kræver investering. Her kommer logos ind, da det er ren logik, at du ikke får serveret alt på et sølvfad. Men det kræver, at nationen arbejder sammen. It is safer to keep your money in a reopened bank than under the mattress. Det er en lille smule metaforagtigt og en smule humoristisk.
We had a bad banking situation.
Dette er en litote, som betyder en underdrivelse.
To put them into a frame of mind where they did not differentiate, but seemed to assume that the acts of a comparative few had tainted them all. It was the government's job to straighten out this situation and do it as quickly as possible, and the job is being performed.
Dette understøtter endnu en gang, at Roosevelt med denne tale vil berolige befolkningen.
After all, there is an element in the readjustment of our financial system more important than currency, more important than gold, and that is the confidence of the people. Confidence and courage are the essentials of success in carrying out our plan. You people must have faith. You must not be stamped by rumors or guesses. Let us unite in banishing fear. We have provided the machinery to restore our financial system. It is up to you to support and make it work. It is your problem, no less than it is mine. Together we cannot fail.
I afslutningen er der brugt patos, da dette er et ganske almindeligt virkemiddel. Han beder om støtte, at folk skal samle sig, og endnu en gang identificerer han sig med befolkningen med ordene. It is your problem, no less than it is mine. Together we cannot fail. Dermed også et bevis på budskabet, som er, sammen er vi stærke.
Welcome to my work group. Kom indenfor. Så er det herinde Magic Happens. Det er her, vi laver vores arbejde. I kan se, tøserne er allerede i gang med at arbejde. Det er super funktionelt. Vi har også maskot, Cleo. Vi kan se, vi har faktisk Kondi, vi har kager, 2 computer, vi har det hele. Det kører bare. Der er ingen problemer. Jeg siger det bliver bare top prøve det her. Vi har en vild hund lige nu. Vi har køleskab, vi har køkken, så kvinderne de også bliver hjemme. Det er bare fantastisk. Det var alt for i dag, så nu kan du godt smutte larmen væk. Hej hej.